Biggest problem that Fani Willis has is that she's stupid. Look, I'm not trying to be mean here, but she's just stupid. I mean, we're talking rock stupid. I mean, bag of rocks. Just doesn't get it. I know the entitled thing, I understand, but when you start messing around with Congress and Jim Jordan during an election year, when the whole world is looking at you, when you're going after Trump and you pull this garbage, well, here's the latest, my friends. You're going to love this. I love this because I love when stupid people get it. House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan, that's right, has threatened possible contempt proceedings against DA, everybody's favorite Fulton County DA, over a subpoena that requested information about her use of federal funds. You might have remembered this a while back. Now, Fani's office has already sent information in response to a February subpoena. But Jordan complains and says that she failed to turn over documents relating to allegations from a now terminated employee who flagged another former employee's desire to misuse federal grant money. Remember this one? This was a while back. There was this, if I recall correctly, it was that recorded conversation of sorts. Quote, "We appreciate that you have produced a narrow set of documents in response to the subpoena, but your compliance with the subpoena to date is deficient." Yeah. Jimmy wrote this. He wrote this in a letter. Quote, "If you fail to do so, the committee will consider taking further action, such as the invocation of contempt of Congress proceedings. Please, God, please, if you exist, please let this happen. Please, let us see this. Let us just, please." Oh, my God. Maybe Terrence Bradley might testify as well. Now, the allegations, as I'm reviewing the various stories, but they center on a former employee of Ms. Willis's who said that the DA fired her a short time after she initially raised some concerns and some problems that she might have noticed about how a Willis campaign aide, later who became an employee, hoped to use federal grants for items beyond the scope of a youth violence gang and prevention program. Remember, this was a while back. It's not clear that the funds in question were ultimately spent inappropriately. Nobody knows. But in a recording of the whistleblower's conversation, remember we talked about this. There's a whole bunch of them with Willis. The DA does not dispute the other employees' desires to spend the grant money inappropriately on laptops and, quote, swag. And he says does not dispute that this would be inappropriate. The DA denied any wrongdoing, of course, when the subpoena was issued. Quote, this is what Fani said, quote, "These false allegations are included in baseless litigation filed by a holdover employee from the previous administration who was terminated for cause. The courts that have ruled found no merit in these claims. We expect the same result in any pending litigation. Any examination of our records of our grant programs will find that they are highly effective and conducted in cooperation with the Department of Justice and in compliance with all department requirements, blah, blah, blah." Now, today's letter, Thursday's letter from Mr. Jordan, indicates apparently that he intends to remain focused largely on any documents that could be related to the whistleblower. That's not good to have a whistleblower. And the whistleblower's claims that the office funds or whatever were misused. Quote, "The allegations in the public realm about your misuse of federal grant funding are concerning, and the committee has an obligation to examine them." According to Mr. Jordan, Willis's office turned over 15 award letters from the Department of Justice's Office of justice programs and Office of Violence Against, and approximately 27 screenshots of expense budget summaries. That's not what he's talking about. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? You see, this goes to show you yet again, this is what happens when Fani is put in the position where she has to decide or she has to comply. She doesn't comply. She's Fani Willis. She's better than you. She doesn't have to worry about this. You don't understand. You don't understand. Terry Bradley doesn't understand. Everybody, Ashley Merchant, everybody. Sadow, Trump, all these folks. This is Fani Willis. Fani is special. Fani is blessed. Fani is above reproach. And Fani will not be forced to comply with this, what do you call it? Oh, yes, this paperwork. This paperwork. A couple of screenshots, some letters, and that'll be doing. Leave me alone. I'm going. Don't you lie to me. Doing that head shaking thing. Don't you lie. I don't want to hear this. She'll throw down the subpoenas, sit back in her chair, smack gum, while Willis, she's Willis, while Mr. Nathan sits back and looks like he's passing a hockey puck with that pained look. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Fani Willis is the gift that keeps on giving. And I thank you for it. Whoever the gods are who are responsible for this, I thank you so much for this. We will keep you apprised. We'll provide a summary of this accordingly. And we thank you for following us. We thank you for subscribing. We thank you for hitting that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And we also ask you to, as you always do, especially in the comments section, and really the only place to do it, we ask you to comment. Comment as you see fit.